Hi, I'm Bruce Klink. I'm here to share with you some insights about my experience in Kellogg's Innovation Lab course this quarter, winter 2014 at Kellogg. I want to start off by just mentioning a few things about the overall experience, if there was anything I would have done differently, and then talk about 3 key insights, learnings that I got through the course. So I like to say I don't have any regrets in life, and I wouldn't say that I would have done anything differently necessarily. The only thing I would have done is hopefully taken this course sooner. I had been developing ClinkCloud, a mobile app that delivers relevant, trending news to you and your friends for several months before the course. But in the 10 weeks in the course, I spoke to 3 times as many people as I spoke to the 6 months before the course. So really ramped up just getting feedback, getting the concept in front of people, being agile with making the changes. One thing that worked really well was using Balsamiq to be agile. We don't have a developer on the team, so when we had a concept and we had feedback and surveys and research that we were doing with really making some minor pivots and changing portions of the concept and the value proposition, we used Balsamiq to show, here's at least a wireframe, a mock-up of what it would be. How do you think about this, and how would you interact with that? And talking to strangers was really better than anything. Your friends will give you more detailed feedback, maybe, or talk to you more. But these were my new best friends. It was my daily commute. Kind of just picking someone that looks like they'd be willing to talk to you, and getting some feedback from them on our concepts on a daily basis. So, as a recap of that, wouldn't do anything differently. Maybe would have started talking to people sooner without the class, and really Balsamiq we leaned heavily on, and we're excited now to actually work with the developer and bring the concept forward. 3 main things that I learned this quarter. Number 1, I would say, is just how important the team is. We brought on Eric Southwell, who's a technology consultant, throughout the quarter, and just brought a whole new perspective of thinking about things a little differently, bringing a little more professionalism from what he's done throughout his career, and it really helped a lot. And I saw that throughout the quarter too. Some of the other teams that were working really well together in the class, as well as the speakers, a lot of times crediting their team or the support that they had to help do things as well. So I think that's incredibly important, and Jack and I are excited to have Eric on board going forward with us. Secondly, main insight on what it takes to be successful is resilience. We had Chuck Templeton come and speak to us from Open Table, and it was just so inspiring to hear how persistent he was with getting those first sales and really trying to get to the core problem of what the restaurants were experiencing that he could help solve for them. And even if he had to run cords through or spend a few $1,000s to make sure he got an important client booked, he did whatever it took to make it happen. And I think that goes from, the point of, pleasing your customer, being resilient, as well as just being resilient yourself, with your work ethic and everything. Mark Landsberg, I thought, was inspiring because everyone tells you to pivot and listen to customers, but he said, don't pivot, you need to be resilient with your concept. And that was refreshing to hear to some point. Of course, you don't want to be closed-minded. You need to take that feedback that I'm getting on the Metro every day. But you do have to be resilient with kind of your vision for what you have as well. So I think that's important. And lastly, this even kind of builds off of what Chuck does. But number 3 and probably most important takeaway from the course is you need to be able to sell. And that can mean a few different things, but a couple examples of this. I kind of think about the who, what, when, where, how, and we had a couple speakers that hit on individual ones really well. Sam Yagan came and spoke to us and from Match.com, and he was actually talking a lot about the when you sell as well, which I hadn't really thought of before, but it's a very important concept in their business, is when they set up the paywall and when do they, it's the point when someone actually wants to interact with someone on Match.com that they make someone pay. And that was interesting for ClinkCloud's concept as well, because the first thing someone does on the site shouldn't be logging in and creating an account. It should be they're coming and actually seeing value, and now they want to see how they can get more value from the site by registering or giving you more information and customizing the news feeds they're getting. So that was actually really important for ClinkCloud, is now you come to the site and you see worldwide trending news right up front. Then, if you decide to register, you can then see, you can customize your own feed and see what's really just truly relevant to you as opposed to relevant to the whole world as well. I met with Sal Salela from Razorfish outside of class, and he talked a lot about how you actually sell. So, of course, he's a design guru, and I showed him some of the mock-ups and worked with him, and his vision is it doesn't really matter what you have. If it doesn't look good, someone's not going to come back to it. So that was really valuable insight as well, and working just with the design and how it looks and what the actual product is you're developing. So that was beneficial. First and foremost is maybe the what you sell question. So we kind of focused on that in our previous Kellogg course, New Venture Discovery. And that's something we focused a lot on early on in this course as well with ClinkCloud, because a lot of it was kind of general analysis and research we had done and to come up with the original concept. But when we did hard surveys and talked to over 200 people just throughout the 10 weeks here, we started to actually change the vision. Originally we thought we were going to be a social media consolidator and bring in Facebook and Twitter posts and everything to ClinkCloud. Well, people don't want that. They actually see value in just solely having a place where there's relevant news, a place that they can interact with friends about that news, and a place where they can get rewarded for it too. So that's what we're doing. We couldn't be more excited to bring the concept forward in Innovation Lab 2. Definitely learned a lot this quarter, and ClinkCloud has evolved quite a bit, and excited to see what's next for us. Thanks a lot.